Hey, welcome back everybody. You are listening to Ultimate Affiliate Marketing. I am your host, as always, it's Paul Motley here. Today is going to be a little bit about turning negatives into positives, because there's something interesting, right? Now, if you've ever ran any type of ads, specifically Facebook ads, then you are going to identify with what I'm about to say. Okay, right. So if ever you want to test out your resilience and your resolve against people being negative towards you, all you need to do is run some Facebook ads. Seriously, you will get haters come out of the woodwork from everywhere, and they will say some really horrible and nasty things about you and everything you're doing. Now, for a lot of people, they may not be used to this because they may have surrounded themselves with a highly targeted, if you like, group of people on Facebook. So you are all in the same sort of like niche. You all sort of have the same interests, the same goals and visions and everything else like that. But as soon as you run ads, Facebook does something crazy, right? It's because unless you get your targeting ridiculously on point, and believe me, it's virtually impossible to do this. So, it's just the way it works. You're going to do well, but it's not going to be 100%. You are going to end up with your ad shown to people that may have once been on a site which Facebook vaguely thinks is interesting for or part of the interest that you may be targeting. And at that point, that person may take it upon themselves to write a derogatory or an inflammatory comment on said ad. And these things happen, right? And it's just part of the course. At the end of the day, you can delete the comment, you can hide the comment, do whatever you want with the comment. But, it just happens. And sometimes it's really amusing, and you must not take it to heart. You really must not, because that is just the way the world works. There are some people out there which are just out to, they just get annoyed. I mean, they must get to a point where they're either hobbyists, where it's their life and their mission in life to post these horrible comments on people's ads, or they may just get hit with so many different ads that you get fed up with it, and eventually one tips them over the cuckoo's nest, and that's it. But I want to tell you a little story. So I've been running some ads recently. I'm building a case study, okay, right? So I was trying to do something. There's an affiliate launch which I'm part of at the moment. I'm not going to tell you exactly what it is because I don't think that's fair. But I've been running some background ads, right? So what I've started doing is I've put out some video ads and then started building that up based on views, then created an audience of people which have viewed the video, yeah? Because then when I hit them with a second ad, it's not going to be completely cold. It's going to be partially involved and something to do with the first ad that I've shown them. So they should actually then get warmer and warmer and warmer to the point where I can say, hey, get this here now, like that sort of thing. Anyway, so long story short, I did this video ad, and to be honest with you, I threw it up. I should have prepped a little bit more for it, perhaps should have done it a little bit better. And what I got was, yesterday, I think it was, I got what I class as an essay comment, which is basically saying, who are you to tell me about what business is? I've done this, I've done that, and all this sort of thing, blah, 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 blah. Right? Okay, right. So it's pretty much stripping me down as if like I'm just brand new. And I looked at it and I thought, okay, this isn't personal because this person didn't know me. They know nothing about me at all. They've just seen an ad. It was, to be fair, quite vague. And like I said, I do hold some responsibility for that because I didn't make it 100% clear. It went straight out to cold market. And so I answered it. And normally I don't answer. I just like comment, remove comment or hide, block the person from the page, and that's it. But I thought, do you know what? I feel an answer here. And then I kept nice and calm. I just went over a little bit of basic history about myself because they've made some assumptions, and then I got a comment back, and the guy actually was completely like, oh, fair play for not losing his temper, and And, you know, we started this, that, and the other. And long story short, we've now started building kind of a relationship where we've actually added each other on Facebook as friends. We're chatting on Messenger, and, you know, I want to see if I can help his business, because it looks like, you know, we might want to have someone help him run his traffic, or maybe build some funnels for him to push his product, all sorts of things like this. So sometimes you can turn a negative into a positive if you are not overreactive yourself. Does that make sense? So you've got to look at everything that comes at you and try and learn from it. Personally, what have I learned? I've learned that the first ad really should have been way better than it was. Like I said, it was thrown together last minute, so it could be much better. Maybe my targeting could have been better as well. But ultimately, I've tried to act as professionally as possible going after that, and also building up some form of, you know, responsibility and trust going forward as well. So these things, you know, there's positives can come from negatives. That was my whole point of tonight's podcast. It is a Saturday night, it is the weekend, so I didn't want to get too deep and too crazy on you, because I know sometimes you need to just be able to just lock off and think, okay, that's it for the weekend, I'm done. We're back on it again on Monday. But that is just what's, you know, I just wanted to get that out there. And, you know, we're going to have another podcast tomorrow night. Tomorrow is the 100th episode. Can you believe that? 100 podcast episodes. I never thought I'd get past 20. I honestly never thought it. When I started doing these podcasts daily, I thought, do you know what? No one's going to listen. It's not going to be found anywhere. No one's going to give a crap. It's me. Do you know what I mean? You have this imposter syndrome thinking no one is going to care. But it's weird though, because the downloads has just hit over 6,500, which is incredible to even think that many people, or people have listened to this podcast that many times. But also as well, I just wanted to reiterate that obviously these are daily, and I do get motivated by the download. So please go ahead and subscribe, and make sure you listen to some of the others, because there is a whole bunch of content on there, seriously. Some of the stuff, and I've mentioned this time and time again, but I do feel like I have to keep repeating myself because of the way that psychology works, is there is a lot of stuff on this podcast, in the whole podcast itself, not just this episode, but everything else before. A lot of this stuff you don't get to find out unless you buy a course or pay someone to tell you with coaching, okay? I let some of the cats out of the bag on this podcast, and the reason being is because I want to reward those people which are listening with as much valuable content that they can move their business forward as possible. And sure, I'm going to have a program come out soon, but we're not going to talk about that right now. But the point is, a lot of the stuff that you hear on this podcast, you would normally have to go and pay someone to find out. So I'm giving you the shortcuts, I'm giving you the inside track. That's what my point is. So yes, do subscribe, please. Anyway, so that is it for me. I'm going to go and grab myself a beer because it's Saturday night, and I'll catch all you guys tomorrow.